Thor is like the ultimate Skyfather now. Not only does he have the Odin Force, which is now the Thor Force, but he now also has Zeus's power. If you think about it, there shouldn't be too many things in the Marvel Universe that can touch him. But yet and still, his death is coming for him. Support the comic industry by visiting your LCS. My name is Dorian, this is SEO Comics. We continue our covers of Immortal Thor, number 15. Our story starts off in darkness, and then we see that we're in some kind of bunker or some kind of like headquarters, military base, something. Now there is a 5-point star on the floor, so if this is a military base, they are a devil worshipping military base. And there's a scientist, and he starts to turn the wheel. And then we cut to Thor, who is fresh off of sucking the power right out of Zeus, and he says he sees the wheel, and it turns. So Hercules tells Thor, like, you need to hear me. You absorbed my father's power, but you also absorbed the darkness that was claiming him. Like, you need to release it and give it back. So the Nyx chimes in and goes, must see Hercules? Like, if he releases the power, then we're right back where we started. So the Hercules is like, all right, well then help him draw off the power of Zeus yourself. And she goes, I will not, slayer of my children. I have all the power I need here. You said so yourself. So she's like, I've charged my son to go back and deal with daylight matters. To me, Thor is a tiny lightning bug in the night the size of a universe. My night, which needs my full attention. That's a lie. That's a lie right there. Thor has a power of 2 Skyfathers. I think he's more than just a lightning bug. Anyway, Nyx takes off and Hercules is yelling for her to come back. So then Loki goes to Hercules and is like, Thor's your friend, Zeus is your father, so is it your business now? Hercules is done messing with Loki and yokes him up by his neck and is like, why should I not just go ahead and crush you right now? This is all your fault. His sister Athena calms him down so that he doesn't kill Loki. Even though I don't know if he can because Loki's pretty powerful right now. And then we cut to Thor, who's still trying to contain all the power that he just brung in. He does so by taking Zeus's power, put in the palm of his hand, and turning it into a belt. Now, why a belt? I have no idea. After he does that, he comes down and he does his patented landing, like the Black Widow 3-point landing. And Loki starts to talk to him. And come to find out, the reason why Thor absorbs Zeus's power is not so that he can see the wheel, but also too, he's tired of Loki's games, and he's tired of Loki's games involving other people and putting them at harm. So he needed the power of Zeus so that now he has enough power to banish Loki. Now, where does he send him? I have no idea. All I know is Thor is tired of dealing with him. But now he also has the power to get him the hell out of there. So now where does he take him? Where else? Asgard. So once they get to Asgard, Sif is there because, you know, she's a new hand doll. And Thor starts filling her in on what's happening. And she goes, again, I'm the new hand doll, so I can see with these eyes. Saw everything that happened. You don't have to explain. So he has Zeus sent off so he can get some medical attention, and he tells everybody else that they're more than welcome to make themselves comfortable. Sif tells him that there is a person that's here to see him, and he goes, I just got here. Who is it? And once he finds out, he's like, I can't believe you let her in. Why? Because it's the Enchantress. And Sif is like, you left no instructions not to let her in. She's an Asgardian, so she has just as much right to be here as you do. Even though you two aren't getting along right now. So then Sif turns to Amor and goes, you were dear to my brother, and you have done great deeds for Asgard in times gone by. But the benefit of the doubt only goes so far. And just know, I'm watching. So Thor cuts straight to him and is like, what the hell are you doing here, Amor? So she goes, I thought the executioner told you quite well. And he's like, oh, so you come to plead this case. Tell me to give up my hammer, my axe, and this belt so he can save me for some coming danger, as if my death wasn't my own to carry. So Thor just puts down his hammer, he sits down, he lays back in the chair, and he actually looks tired. And he's like, look, the all sleep is coming on sooner or later, so speak your piece so that I can finally rest. And all of a sudden she gets in his lap. Now these two used to be an item, but obviously things have changed. But if your ex looks like that, you might be willing to do something too, even though she's tried to kill you multiple times. They kiss, and it was Thor that initiated the kiss, wasn't Gamora. And they sit back and it was like, this is nice. Unfortunately, this can't last. So Gamora gets up and is like, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep letting me get away with my scheme, or are you going to imprison me? Like you should. And Thor goes, no, I'd rather ask you a question. Why'd you help the executioner? And she goes, why don't you just think real hard? I bet it come to you. And he goes, Isaac, your son. And he was killed during the first Strange Academy run, which was a good story. Maybe one day we'll get to it. So Thor's like, I don't have kids of my own, so I can't tell you that I can relate. All I can tell you is that you have my condolences. So then Gamora's like, you could do more. And Thor's like, no, you're not going to blackmail me to bring him back. I will not deny good Isaac his just reward of Valhalla after his death in battle. So then she goes, I guess I just need to do more convincing. And Thor's like, haven't we done enough to each other? Like, can we just leave things where they stand? Besides, you run Roxxon now, and that company is extremely dangerous. So speaking of Roxxon, we cut back to wherever the hell we were at the beginning of the story, and we see somebody has been sacrificed. The scientist that turned the wheel opens up a door, and out steps Dario Agger back from the dead. And he's ready to kill some gods.